Hey there, welcome back. Now in this lecture, let us do something interesting. Let us add new fields, that is a new feature with our reviews. Currently, if you see, we don't have much information regarding our movie review. We have all the reviews, but we don't know what is the current rating of this movie or how many reviews are there. If we jump onto IMDb right now, here you can see if I open any movie, they have some information that it's 8.6 and there are these number of review. Now if I click on this one, then it is going to open a new page which is known as ratings. So if I click here, make sure you check the URL. So this is title. In our case, what we are using is we are using watch. Yeah, we are using watch. IMDb calls them title. Then they have this ID, which is their movie ID or a show ID or web series ID. This is their ID. And then they are calling it as rating. We are going to follow something similar. So in our URLs, if you jump, we have watch, then slash, this is our movie ID, and then we can call it as review. So I'm going to remove this stream. This is the first stage of this lecture. So I have removed the term stream. So that means if I am going to access any review, all I have to do is use this imdb.com/title/my-movie-id and then ratings, we have review, or I can call it as reviews. That's done. So this is going to give us information about reviews for a particular movie. So this was the link change, that is our URL change. But the thing is, we don't have this information. If you jump here, we don't have this information and I need to do something. So what we can do is we can add two new fields in our model. So if I jump onto my model right now in my watch list, I can add two new fields. The first one will be total number of reviews that I have for a movie, and the second one will be the average rating. This part is referred as my average rating, and this is the number of reviews or number of rating I have. I hope you got the idea. So we need to add these two fields. This is going to be our first task. Now I also need to do something. So whenever we create any review, inside this, whenever we create any review, I will update those two fields. So if I add a new review for a movie 1, I'm going to increase the rating and I'm also going to increase the number of review. Okay, first let me run the server and delete all the reviews that I have currently. So if I jump here and refresh this one, delete all the reviews that you have. Yep. And let me get back here, stop my server, get back to my models, and here let me add the information. The first thing I'm going to add is called average rating. So suppose if someone give me 5 star, let me write it here for sample purpose. Suppose someone give me 5 star and then average rating is going to be 5 star. Then someone gave 4 star to my current movie, then it is going to be average of 4.5. Now if someone add a new review, maybe 5 star again. So what we are going to do is we are going to store average of them, and this will be suppose 4.75. Now suppose if someone gave 4 star, so we will average them and it will be approx 4.44. So we need to do something like this. So this is going to be average rating. Now the second thing we need to do is total number of review. So we will start with a default value of 0. Then again, if someone gave a review, we are going to use the current value plus 1 and keep on following. I hope you got the idea what we are trying to do. If not, you will understand in this lecture. So the first thing I'm going to use is our average rating. So average rating can be a float field. Why? Because if someone give a 5-star review and then someone give a 4-star review, then the average rating will be 4.5. So we need to take a float field. And here I need to pass default value as 0. The second thing I'm going to take is number of ratings. Now number of rating will be an integer. Why? Because if one person is going to give a review, it will be 1. Then if a new person adds a review, it is going to be 2. Then third person adds a review, it is going to be 3. So number of rating is going to be an integer. And default value will be 0. So these are the two changes that we are doing currently, and I don't think we need to do anything with serializer. If I jump here, no, we don't need to do anything because we have field as all. Remember, if we are using specific field name, then we need to add them. Otherwise, field all contain everything. So that's going to be our major change. Also, remember here we are using default value as 0. So while migration, we are not going to get an error. But if you are not passing this field, you might face an issue. So make sure you pass default equals to 0. That's done. Now the next thing we need to work is here. But let me migrate the changes first. Let me do make migrations. Okay, this is working fine, and now let me migrate. That's done. Before trying to run my server, let me jump here and understand the logic that we want to implement. So by default the value is 0 for all. That means currently we don't have any review. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to check all these conditions because there are chances they have already added this review. So we don't want to mess with it. Once we get a confirmation that they don't have any review, that means they are not going to raise any error. We are going to add things after that. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to let everything get processed. That means this will give us a confirmation. That means they haven't reviewed it first. So here we are going to get a query set. We are checking that if they have any review or not. If they have already reviewed, then they are going to get this validation error. If not, then we are going to do other task. So let me get back here, add some space, make sure to take care about the indentation. It should be in line. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check if the number of rating is 0 or not. If number of reviews is 0, that means we can directly add the rating. Otherwise, we need to average them. For example, let me check if I need to select this query set, which is watch list dot, and I'm going to check the number of ratings. Number of rating actually. So if number of rating is equals to 0, then what we have to do is we can directly update the average rating. So I'm going to utilize this watch list, and here I'm going to update my average rating. Because the average rating at this point of time is 0 because there is 0 review. If number of reviews are 0, that means I can just directly update my average rating. Otherwise, if suppose this already have one review that is 4 star, then we need to calculate this average rating. So I just jump back here, and all I need to do is I need to provide the validated data. So I'm going to utilize my serializer, and the serializer contains the validated data. So I'm going to use it, and here I'm going to pass rating. That's done. If this is the case, then we are directly passing it. Otherwise, what we have to do is we need to calculate it. Suppose the average rating at this point of time is 4.5 star and we are adding a new review as 5 star, then we need to recalculate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update this field, which is my average rating, and I just need to combine both of them, which is my old rating plus my new rating by 2. So my old rating will be inside this itself, plus this is going to be my new rating, and here I am dividing them by 2. This looks fine. So we have updated our average rating. Now the next thing is I need to increase the number of rating by 1. So I'm fetching the current number of rating, which is by default is going to be this number of rating plus 1. Once that is done, we just need to save our watch list. So let me just utilize the correct syntax. Yeah. So this is going to be our watchlist dot save. Yeah, this works fine. If you are not getting this example, if you are not understanding this, I strongly recommend to take a pen and paper, because this is more of a converting a math solution into programming. Let me test this one and then talk about this again. So let me see if our server is running. Nope. Let me run this one. This is working fine. Let me jump onto our admin panel, get into the watch list, check here. By default, average rating is 0 as well as number of rating is also 0. Now what I am going to do is I am going to create a review. So let me open my API first. And here I am going to take watch / I need to add item to this JS the growth, which is going to be 2 / and here I am going to call it review. I did some mistake. 2 and then review create. Yep. So let me add some content. Let me try to add 5 here. Let me try to add description. And active is equals to true. So once we submit this, what we are going to do is at this point of time, we are fetching if the number of rating is 0, that means I'm going to take average rating as 5 only because this is just one review. So average rating will be updated as 5 and this else condition will not be executed. And then we are increasing the number of rating. By default, the number of rating is 0. Now we are adding 1, which is +1. So this will be 1 and then we are saving this instance. So this looks fine. Let me try to submit it. That's done. So our rating is 5 currently. If I refresh or if I just jump back here, which is reviews, this looks fine. Now let me try to access this 2 instance. Yep. Now here if you see in this instance we have this review and now you see we have average rating of 5 and number of rating is 1. I hope you got the idea. Now if I try to add a new review with this one, I'm going to get an error. Why? Because we add a functionality where a single user cannot publish 2 reviews. So if I try to add a new review, maybe 4-star, great movie. Let's set this as false itself, and if I send a post request, I've already reviewed this, but let me log out and log in as John. So if I log in as John, this is second movie and let me give 4-star, take description as great movie and set this as false. So what is going to happen behind the scene? We are going to get inside this perform_create. Now we are going to check if the watch list dot number of rating is 0. Nope. Why? Because the number of rating is 1 now. So we are going to get here. We are again going to update this average rating, and what we are going to do is we are going to calculate the average. So the current average rating is 5-star. New value that we have sent for John is going to be 4-star. So 5 plus 4 is going to be 9, then divided by 2, which is 4.5. So we are going to update this instance with 4.5 and then we are going to increase the number of rating by 1. So if I submit this one, you can see we have added a new review. But if I try to visit this instance too, now if you just scroll down a bit, average rating is 4.5 and number of rating is 2. I hope you got the idea. We just implemented this particular feature, which is pretty important. Now on front end or in our mobile or in our desktop application or in our website, this can be controlled since we are giving rating by 5. And now we have this number. I hope you got the idea. So that's how we are going to work with our rating system. Now this was pretty important to explain because the main motive was to work with these instances, how to create them, how to update them, and make sure to use .save so you can save this instance. Now remember, if John is trying to do a new review again for the same book, they are going to raise this validation error by line 31 itself and they are not going to execute this. So we are safe. Otherwise, if we try to keep this on the top, so we will save the review and then this error will be raised, which is going to create a problem. So that's all. That's the main motive of this lecture. I hope you got the idea. We updated the URL part again and we are trying to update everything step by step. So now this is going to be our reviews. To access all the review, that is review list for our product, and to access a particular review we are going to use this link, and to create any new review, we are going to use this link. I hope you got the idea. I also need to do one small change to add a ending slash. So this was pending from quite few lectures. At this point of time, if you take this ending slash, it is going to give an error. And if I just remove this slash, it's work fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide this ending slash, save this one. And if I try to refresh this without slash, it is working fine. So this is something basic. I hope you remember this. So just add ending slash. That's all, and I will see you guys in the next one.